Hey everybody, this is Herschel Froome from High School Top 200, and this is the Top 200 podcast. Thanks for tuning in. It's me and Brad again. Jake,
where is he this week?
Well, he missed out on the New Zealand marble team, and which is called the Black Bulls.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah, no, I do
Black
now.
Bulls.
New Zealand marble.
Yeah, it's called the Black Bulls, and Jake is
Like
and so he missed out on that, and so I think he's going for. I'm not too sure. I got to ask him. I'm gonna ask him when we see him. But
I think I might have heard sheep shearing through the grapevine, but we'll have to double check next week.
Sharp, bro, sharp. So we're back for this next one. I hope you guys all enjoyed the Simon Dewell one that we did, and it was so cool to listen to. I think he's kind of a legend, eh? I think after we talked to him, it was a bit like he didn't complete it the way he wanted to complete it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't blame anyone because that's what he was saying as well, right?
He's sort of like a lesser-known legend.
Yeah.
Like he was really good, but he missed out on so much that he doesn't really get the credit he deserves.
That's true. And he's going to be like a legendary commentator as well, eh?
Yeah. He'll be top once.
Yeah.
The old guard retire.
Well, because we had such a good guest on the first one, we brought another guest with us. This guy is a comedian. Would you say? How established would you say as a comedian? Are you calling yourself a comedian yet, or comic?
I don't really call myself one, but I don't know.
Well, this is.
I don't really, but I'm all over the show.
A Scots College alum.
Yeah, we'll just call me that.
Scots College alum. We got. Well, do you go by Joey or Joe or?
Yeah, just Joe. Joe's all good. Yeah, Joey D.
Joey D.
Yeah.
Joey D.
Your mum's new boyfriend, aka your stepdad. Any of those?
Your stepdad. That's the new one. It should be like your stepdad. I'm your new stepdad. So we got Joey here. So.
Cheers for having me.
And it's good. Yeah, it's good having you too because, you were at school at Scots.
2013.
13 was it last year?
Yeah, last year. Yeah.
And that's how I know you was from that. And I mean, in 2013 when I started Top 200, I just messaged heaps of players and just finding out and figuring it out myself. And everyone, like no one knows it, but I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like I made heaps. I think I was telling these guys I made heaps of mistakes.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out and.
Yeah. No, I remember you from day one.
Yeah.
From day one. Yeah.
And just trying to find out context. I think you were one of my main ones that I talked to a lot.
Yeah. We used to talk heaps.
And it was good because it was honest too, and that's what I liked about it as well, is that you were just that honest. So where did you grow? Where did you grow up? What is your background?
So half Fijian, half Māori. Grew up, born in Wellington, but actually grew up in Malaysia. So moved to Malaysia when I was about 5 or 6. Then came back when I was about, I want to say 10, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of around there. And then intermediate in Auckland, and then
What was Malaysia for? Like, is that your dad?
My dad was working over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so grew up over there. Intermediate Auckland, and then end of intermediate Wellington, and then college Wellington. And so Scots was the first school I did like my whole time there.
Oh, okay.
Because kind of moved around.
Yeah.
I think like 12 different schools before high school. So.
Oh, really?
Quite a bit of moving. But
do you remember a lot from Malaysia?
Yeah, bro, quite a bit. And then travelled back there last year before 2017.
Yeah.
Because I went backpacking for about 6 months.
Oh, real?
Yeah.
So where did you go? Like, what was your trail?
Far out. Went like all around Asia. So yeah, because I think I left like November. So it was about 4 months. So November to end of Feb. So yeah, went all over Asia.
Dang.
A little bit of Europe. Because I did I'd been doing like the saving up for the house thing.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of like, nah, that's
too early.
What am I going to do with a house?
Yeah, like right now, what are you going to do with a house?
Yeah. Well, because I had no interest in being like a landlord or anything. And, like,
true.
Really the only kind of use for it I would have was to move in, but I didn't have any interest in doing that. So just went traveling instead. And then, but yeah, no, I have very fond memories of Malaysia, and I consider it where I grew up.
Oh, you consider that your growing up place?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like Auckland, yeah. Well, Wellington is probably where I spent my most time recently.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It didn't really feel like home for a very long time. Probably more so now than ever.
Whereabouts in Wellington though?
Lower Hutt and Wainui.
Okay.
Yeah. So
there's heaps of guys that come out of Wainui as well, eh?
yeah, bro. No, yeah. A lot of boys came out of Wainui.
Where would they usually go? Like Stream or Scots or?
It was Stream or Scots, and like a lot of us that went to Scots, if we didn't go to Scots, it would have been Stream.
Stream, yeah.
And the thing was that we all actually, the whole group of us that were like in Wellington, like first 15 around that time, we're actually all cousins.
So who are those fellas?
So it was me, TJ Vata, who was with the Canes. Yeah. Peter and Thomas Umaga. Pete's with the Canes, Tom's with the Highlanders. And then like a few other boys, Eli Vol, who signed with the Storm. JG
I like Eli. He was another one I first talked to a lot.
Yeah. He's a good dude. JG Bradbrook. Josh Whippu. So Tyrell Lomax.
Okay then. Yeah.
Yeah, who made his debut for the All Blacks last year.
Because he left early, right?
Yeah, bro. He left when we were about 14, 15.
Why didn't he stay though? Like, why wouldn't he stay at Scots or Stream?
Because he signed to the Raiders, so that's why he moved over.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So he signed when he was 14 to the Raiders. And it was a crazy time when we were about 14, 15. It was that time that like all the NRL teams were coming over and like signing everyone.
Because that's when Melbourne set up down there too, and they got their own camp.
Yeah, because Melbourne set up, like they had a huge push, like, especially for Wellington. And so all the other teams followed. And bro, pretty much like anyone that was like half decent that was 14, 15 was getting signed. But they were getting signed to like shitty contracts, real shitty. Yeah. Like I remember even as a 14-year-old, you know, it's. I mean, I'm probably beyond the. That was about 10 years ago, so I'm sweet to talk about it now. But I remember even as a 14-year-old, and you know, $20 is a lot of money to you. But even looking at those contracts and being like, that's like weirdly not that much money. And bro, they were signing them for like $5,000, $10,000, and it's like you're just taking.
And because they used to try and say stuff like, "Oh, well, we'll fly you over for these camps, and then we'll fly you back," and that was kind of like the counter of.
That was what got them. That was what got them in, bro. Is that all these families were kind of like signing these shitty contracts because their sons were getting flown over to these sick ass cities in Aussie, getting put up in hotels for like 2 weeks, and
because they're doing that now, but they're more selective. Like NRL's gone good, even though they were real crappy. They've gone good within the last maybe 4 years. And actually doing it properly and not signing like 40 kids and then only taking 2. And because that's kind of what the percentages were that.
Well, they kind of had to because losing the under-20s, like losing their TV deal, that like that really hurt them. So they didn't really have the money to throw around either. And like the NRL was, they were, you know, even though it was shitty, it was smart because pretty much all they did was they just cast their net out as wide as possible and then just pray that one of the kids just carves up. And then, you know, the kid's still in his contract, and they just sign him, you know, to a longer term. And so that's how like a lot of the boys that are still in NRL got caught up. Like that's how Rog got pulled in. That's how Nelson got pulled in. A lot of those boys. Yeah,
we lost some. I think we lost some really good players that, frankly, because New Zealand didn't fight for them. But that's what I reckon anyway.
Bro, when I saw Roger like in under 20s, his first year out of school, I was like, we just lost an All Black. We lost an All Black. Yeah.
What was it like at Scots for you? Did you like it?
But it was pretty tough. Like I definitely found it very tough. It just is like high school is. Yeah. And also I guess like from a rugby perspective it was quite tough as well because I like actually never particularly had an interest in rugby.
You just played it because you could?
I just played it because my mates did. Yeah. Really. Like that was really all it is. Bro, like my favourite sport was field hockey.
Really?
Yeah, bro. So hockey and golf were like the main sports I played.
Is that like a Malaysian thing that came over?
It's Asian. Yeah, straight up. But I was Asianed out when I was.
So did you play at Scots? Did you play field hockey at Scots?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, played hockey at Scots. Played golf at Scots.
What is Scots' program for golf like? Because Rotorua Boys to me is like probably one of the best in the country.
Yeah. They I mean. The rural schools for golf, they do it better than any. We had like a lot of resources, but ours was pretty shit. Like the program wasn't that good.
But that was Scots as a whole, though, right?
Like,
even before rugby and
really
Victor Vito
was.
was there was like nothing.
It really was like all the resources, but just no one had any idea.
Because even with Stephen Adams, everyone thinks, oh, they got to steal. I was like, no, because if you saw Stephen Adams when he was young, he wasn't that great.
Bro,
he was tall.
He wasn't good.
He was Gumby as,
I tell
though.
people all the time, like,
Yeah.
Steve wasn't that good.
I remember seeing him in nationals when he was young as, and they tried to make him play, like top level basketball, and he was getting creamed by guys that just knew how to play basketball. And that's all it was.
And that was
because he just didn't know.
That was
like,
it.
no one put any time into him, kind of thing.
That was it. Yeah, he didn't know how to play the game. But that's why he was even more special, is because he didn't know how to play.
And he knew, and he just soaked it all up. I heard he was really good that way, where he just listened.
His work ethic was crazy, bro. I mean, we all talked about it. You know, it was school-wide knowledge that he would get up every morning, like 5 a.m. and train for like 3 hours, because I boarded, and he'd come eat breakfast with the boarders when he was done. And like
how did you like boarding?
It was that's another tough one, bro. Like boarding's tough again. I think like a lot of parents.
Are you like a mummy's boy? I'm a mummy's boy, hard out. But like, you like miss your parents, mum, or like sisters and brothers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like I definitely. I think I definitely am a mummy's boy. I was trying to make it sound like I really wasn't, but I really am. But
I don't even care.
I'm trying to play.
I love
cool
my mum. I don't care whatever.
Play cool for the kid. But no, I think it was that. But it wasn't necessarily like a lot of parents. I think they send their kids away to boarding school to like learn independence.
Yeah.
But you really don't, because you actually just learn to rely on people, like even more so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially at boarding school, where it's like, you got 60, 70 boys that are about 15, they're 13 all the way to 18. So you learn to like rely on people that also don't have any idea what they're doing. So it's kind of like the blind, like leading the blind kind of thing. Bro, literally. Yeah. And so it's kind of that thing where, you've had a rough day at school per se. You're not coming home to talk to your parents about it. You're coming home and talking to all your mates like, oh yeah, I got in trouble, like, and all cracking up about it. So it's kind of that thing. So
I contacted some of your mates from school, and when you were at your first year of school, were you the bedwetter, or was it your?
Was I the bedwetter?
Or was it like
no,
your
it was my roommate? Bro. Yeah. I don't know who you've been talking to that knew this. No, so I had holy shit, who have you been talking to?
Bro, I'm top 200, bro. I know a lot of kids, bro.
Bro, you should keep that 200 and below. I don't know what information you've been getting.
Oh, so it was your roommate?
So my roommate, he used to shit himself.
Because I heard that you were the bottom bunk.
Oh.
So he was on the top bunk and he was peeing the bed?
I like that you're trying to put me on blast. I like that.
What is it though? Was it that?
No. So it's not bunks. You're literally just it's just very small single beds, like, and they're very close.
But there was like a bedwetter.
Bro, a bed shitter.
What?
Yeah.
Was that a sickness? Was that a?
He was like he was a weird kid. He was a weird kid.
Oh yeah.
It's
don't put his name, but like he was a strange fella.
Hell no. No, he was definitely he was the type of kid that if he told you not to come to school tomorrow, don't come to school tomorrow. Yeah. He was a weird kid. But yeah, he used to shit the bed, bro, and that was my roommate for a whole term. He used to shit the bed.
Because I went to a boarding school as well, but even though I was a day student, and most of them hang out together. So did you hang out with that fella?
Fuck no. Am I allowed to swear? Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear.
No, you can swear. I don't care.
Fuck no.
Oh, true. So how long were you his roommate for?
A whole term. So you switch roommates each term.
Oh, you do?
And bro, this guy was shitting the bed for a whole term.
So did you tell like the next people, bro, this fella is terrible?
Bro, I didn't have to tell anyone. Everyone smelt it.
And he didn't care?
He didn't give a shit. Clearly. Well, he gave plenty shits. That was the problem. But yeah.
Too many.
Bro, what was the laundry saying? They're like, who the hell is this kid?
Bro, I'm trying to think like how it was dealt with, because I know I wasn't allowed to move. Yeah, they wouldn't let me move rooms, but I can't remember how it was dealt with. But I do remember. Yeah, I do remember him having to clean his own sheets at one point. But that was. I mean, I don't know where you got your information from, bro, but that's a good source.
What was it like with you and Earl Va?
That's a good source.
What was it like for you?
Bro, you're really getting
Like
killed.
I heard that he was hard on everyone because you guys had like a talented team, right?
Yeah.
You guys had like a superstar team coming through, and obviously he's going to be hard. But I heard he was like extra hard on you. Like he put hot sauce on you when it was like when it came to getting in trouble. Because you got in trouble all the time. I was told.
Yeah, it was tough, bro. It was. Fuck, you got some good sources, man.
I even heard one time that you came to training as him with a whistle. And then you took it past the joke of, I'm taking this training.
Fuck, that's so weird how you know. I don't know how you know this shit. No, it was yeah, it was definitely a weird. I mean, he's known to be a tough coach.
Yeah,
a really tough coach. And the thing is, I grew up with TJ.
With TJ, yeah,
and obviously him. So yeah, obviously the boundaries when you're a tough coach are pushed even further when you know the person. So.
Because that was the other thing. Because I know that you guys, like, he knew you guys since you were like little, like 10-year-olds and stuff like that.
All of us, yeah.
And so, like, when it came to sort of that dynamic, especially being TJ's dad, how was it with TJ and that? Like, you was like, bro, your dad's like putting that extra on me.
It's definitely it's a tough thing. It's exactly like that thing where, like, you know, your mate's parent is a teacher, and you'll hate them. You can't really tell them. And I'm not saying that's what the dynamic was, but it's
what'd your dad say to you though? Like, surely you would have.
This was all so long ago. I like haven't really. I don't know. All I know is that, like, it was anything on like a sort of team level. It's weirdly magnified in kind of Wellington because, like, the first 15 culture, the rugby culture in general, like, dominates the city. Yeah. And so it's crazy. Everyone kind of knows everything about each other. Yeah. And And
because I saw it from this perspective, even when I first started, is that, like, I knew Scots College was new to the rugby game and actually being good.
Yeah.
And then I knew that when you grow up with all your other mates that all make the rep teams at the same time, they know who's going to be good soon. Yeah. And so you guys had that kind of thing on you guys as, like, this is the next backline. So what was it like being part of a backline that had Thomas and Peter, Marlaw, TJ, and then you had, like, the fittest big guy, fast guy I've ever seen in my life, and Alex
Feeder.
And because even Henry was there too.
Yeah, bro, Henry Stowers. Yeah, far out.
So, like, because, like, you hear, like, people don't understand that you guys, to me, and everyone that I see in Top 200, I kind of, like, idolize kids like that. Like, when I see a player that I've studied for, like, 3 years, to me, he's a superstar.
Yeah.
Like, I would, like, people would see other people, because, like, that's just what I do.
Yeah.
So to me, when I looked at your guys' backline, I was thinking, bro, like, you guys can't lose. You can't lose sevens. You can't lose nationals.
Yeah, bro.
So what was the pressure like with you guys?
Yeah, it was really, we had a lot of pressure on us, bro, like a lot. And that's kind of like my misgivings with just first 15 culture in general. Yeah. Is how much pressure we did. And that's why we did lose, like, because, I mean, you'd see the results. We'd lose games. We'd just like, why the fuck? Yeah. And it's because we did have so much pressure because we did kind of have that, like, aura around us. Yeah. And, I mean, yeah, you kind of look back at all the Wellington results over the years. You can kind of see that the team that everyone thinks is going to win, they don't usually win. Yeah. It's because, like, the pressure... Yeah, sort of...
Because that was like Cole as well. Like, Cole was the same.
But we all kind of deal with it. Yeah. And that's kind of, you know, all our schools sort of hate each other. Yeah. But that's where we all do really relate is how much, and I don't know, like, what it's like I mean, I'm sure it's bad in Auckland as well. Yeah. I'm sure it's bad in Christchurch. I know their school culture and stuff down there as well. But yeah, I don't know, just in Wellington, it was weirdly crazy and kind of like a thing where, like, they really made us feel like our school was dependent on how we go in this rugby game. And that's just crazy to me, thinking now. I'm like, a rugby game in the grand scheme of things, especially in high school, is nothing. But to make it feel like it's everything.
It's everything.
But, and that's what really, like, messed with a lot of us. And, I mean, you only have to look at how many boys... The only guys that keep playing rugby really after school are guys that have signed to some sort of academy or professional team. Everyone else is usually just like, fuck, I'm out.
Just club rugby, and I'll be good with that. Yeah.
That's how I felt. That's how, like, pretty much our whole team felt once we'd finished up. Is that we were all juiced out, really, and most of us didn't even play club rugby, bro. Like, I didn't play club rugby straight out of school. I was like, fuck rugby.
Yeah. But I heard that, like, in a game against Cole,
Bro, you've got all the.
You told Nelson, and I should have asked Nelson this too, but you told Nelson, and this is our Sofa Solomona, to run it straight, and you told the rest of the team to get back. And then in that same game, you told Wes you're not making a meter, and he scored 3 tries on you.
No, is
that true?
No, I think you're confusing me with Eli.
Is it not true?
No,
are you sure?
That's Eli. That's not me.
Because and I was trying to remember back to the game, and I was thinking,
well, because that's just
because Nelson was number 8, right? Because
Yeah.
he did, he wasn't a lock and didn't.
Yeah.
So he played number 8, and I heard that you called him out, and you go run it straight, and you told all the boys, step back, I've got this. And then you told Wes in the same game, you're not making a meter, and he scored 3 tries.
Nah, I mean, I think anyone listening to this that knows me knows that that's definitely not me. Like I'm not a big talker on the rugby field. I'm not a big.
Oh, true, yeah.
So I'm not like a big talker on the rugby field.
What was it like playing those kind of teams though?
It was
That's when Cole was last good.
bro. Well, like you know me, like my background, running like the college first 15, running that whole thing. It was crazy because we'd come up against teams and like I knew the guys that were good, and I knew like who was gonna make it to the next level, and because for anyone listening, I ran like a first 15 news page when I was about 14, 15.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't playing rugby at the time, but I always loved rugby.
Yeah.
And so I'd go to like every first 15 game and just watch them. And so I basically made this page, and it had like a real good following. I think we got like 10,000 odd people.
Yeah.
And that's basically where our relationship started. Was because I knew all this.
Yeah,
I knew all this kind of stuff, and then when you started asking me, that's kind of why I knew all the stuff I knew. So it was crazy. It was crazy for me kind of coming up against these guys, because I was like, I know who from this team is actually good, and I know who's good on YouTube. And
that's why it annoys me too when people go, you don't even know what you're talking about. It's like, you only know your own team.
Yeah.
You don't know the other team that I'm talking about.
Hard up.
You don't know the rest of the teams in the country. So don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like I get annoyed like that. I used to get annoyed, not anymore. How do you feel about One Direction?
One Direction.
Yeah. So like I heard.
I don't know how you like.
Hold on.
I don't know how you know all this shit.
Where is this going?
Bro, straight up. I want
to hear this now.
He's just calling out.
If you look at Joey, Joey's got Fijian hair.
Oh my God.
I heard that you tried to do the hairstyle and then you did like a One Direction performance, trying to do like all four parts. It was like at a Scots College like performance thing.
I don't know how you.
Is there a video?
But did you like One Direction?
Oh no, I wasn't. Nah, so I know where you're going with this.
No, but did you like One Direction?
I mean, they had the odd song that was pretty good.
Oh come on! Did you like One Direction though?
It's a yes or no question.
Okay, define like. Because that's important. That's important.
Wait,
because there's plenty of people who you don't like them in particular, but they've got one song that's like, okay, I'll sing
How
this.
many songs do you have
on my phone right
on your
now?
phone of One Direction?
Probably one. I think I have one song.
So did you try and perform that song by yourself?
Not by myself, no. And we didn't perform it, basically.
Oh, so you did perform it.
What Hirsch is getting at is that me and a few boys from the team.
Who were the other ones?
So Jackson, Garden Bishop, TJ Vara, Eli Vol, JG, Brad, a bunch of Scots boys. It doesn't matter who.
You just named 5 of them.
You
A couple of them are Hurricanes.
Yeah, like a few of them are Hurricanes. I mean,
Professional players, doesn't matter.
I mean, 2 of them play for the Hurricanes, 1 plays for the Storm. So it was us 5. Yeah, we just made a video just lip singing.
Oh, there's a video.
Lip syncing. That's what I thought you were getting at. Yeah, there's
no, they didn't tell me about a video.
So we had like a
so
video.
It's on YouTube?
No, on Facebook, bro. And it went like Facebook viral back when like that wasn't even a thing. So back when like no one was posting videos on Facebook. I think we got like 700-800 likes or something. And that was back when like no one was posting videos.
Do you still know where to find it?
It should still be there,
bro. I'll send it to you. But that's where that
really?
That's where that comes from.
I'll put it up so everyone can have a watch. Because everyone will be interested in
yeah.
you won't be known as far. Then they'll look at like Jackson and be like, oh shoot, this.
Yeah. No, link the because I mean we've talked about it. I want people to have context, but I mean I wasn't particularly hoping I ever see that video again. But.
See, because I see you as like a confident person, right? And obviously being a stand-up comic, you have to be confident. But when I heard that you asked out someone's ball partner who was going with their boyfriend, and you asked them out, and you thought, nah, sweet as, she's going to come with me. Did you actually do that?
Now I just think you're making shit up. Yeah, I would love to find out who your source is. Because I mean,
that didn't happen though.
It's like a lot of the stuff you've like said is like it's like half. It's like there's a little part of it that is true, but like the whole thing isn't true per se.
So it's like half of it. So you did ask out a ball partner that already had a partner.
Not non-relationship though.
But they already had a partner, and you still asked her, knowing that they had a partner.
Bro, this is so weird. Like, I don't even know if anyone is going to be interested in.
Oh, it's funny though. It's funny to me.
You know what I feel like on those TV shows when like I'm being deposed. Yeah. I feel like that.
Because
like I'm feeling deposed.
I understand how confident you can be. Like you must be that confident to ask somebody else to a ball that has already got a partner, and you'll be like, yeah, it's all right. She'll come.
Well, I don't even know if that's the story.
She'll come.
I can't remember.
What did they say?
Bro, seriously, this is all stuff I have not thought about for. Like, I mean, I was in high school. What, 2013? That's
but it only matters if you actually did it.
That's 6 years ago. I have no idea.
What's your name? No, we don't want to say
No, that's the thing. I don't even know what like particularly the person's talking about.
Okay. I just thought I'd ask you just because that's what guys told me. So I thought I'd ask you. How did you get into stand-up? Like, I love stand-up hard out. Like, all my podcasts are stand-up.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah.
I listen to Tiger Belly. I listen to...
Tiger Belly.
Which is Bobby Lee. And then I listen to Your Mom's House with Tom Segura and Christina P. And even Theo Von and, you know, Chris D'Elia, all those kind of guys. Yeah, all of those guys. Even Brian Callen and Brendan Schaub, who's an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Turned comedian.
Do you like... Do you like both of them?
Yes. I like both of them together, and then Brendan Schaub is okay at comedy right now.
I can't stand him by himself though.
No, because I think it's different in the terms that like and he's spoken about it before, where he said that he felt uncomfortable with, and Joey Diaz said it to him too. He's just like, I hope you're not saying that you can just go from MMA to being a comedian.
Yeah.
Because all these guys did years of it.
Yeah.
And so, like, I can understand that from that point of view. Like, is that the same for you in terms of when you, like, decide I want to be a comic?
Yeah.
That you have to put in your years in as well before just switching from one thing to another?
Yeah, it is one of those things that's like stand-up is very much based on kind of traditions.
Yeah.
And very much based on I've done it this way, so you have to do it this way.
Yeah.
And because like a lot of the guys that are in their primes now, because they've been there for so long, the guys that run the industry are obviously quite old.
Yeah.
So
that's why they did All Things Comedy. That's why they started All Things Comedy, like Joe Rogan and them, and because they said that, you know, why should we do things your guys' way? Exactly. We'll just do it ourselves.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's really entertainment in New Zealand in general.
Yeah.
It's very much based on the old sort of thinking that you have to be doing something for years on end to warrant having a platform that allows people to see what you're doing. Whereas like with social media and stuff and the internet, like it doesn't take 10 years to learn things, you know?
Well, that's like me with HSTOP200. Like no one said that everyone said I shouldn't do it because that's not the way things are done. I was like, well, I don't care. Yeah. It was like no one's telling these young kids that they're being watched and they're being admired and that there's some context to it. Yeah. And like that's the same with comics as well, is that you had to be passed by someone that owned the club to say that you can have spots. Yeah, bro. Is that kind of how it is here?
Yeah, and it very much is like that in New Zealand. It is. There's the Classic Comedy Club, and it's the only comedy club. So the thinking very much is that you have to go through there to be able to progress. And like to a certain extent, it is true. Yeah. But I mean, there's plenty of guys that have gone past that through, you know, other directions, and that's just like what the internet allows. And you know,
so how are you putting it out now in terms of your bits and how you do your content kind of stuff? Because, like, Andrew Schultz, right? The way that he's done his with Views of the Cyst is that he's put out joke at a time, like
very
each week.
small increments.
Why wouldn't you do it like that?
Like, I think Andrew, how he's done it is really, really good for him. I mean, he's done, like, he sells out everywhere.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a mainstream TV show or anything.
Brilliant. It's just massive, though.
Yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't particularly do it that way. At least for now. Well, my kind of thing from the start is I don't really necessarily want to be known as a comedian. Like, I do stand-up comedy, but I mean, my interest in it is beyond just kind of being on stage. Like, I love being on stage. I love doing.
So how do you work out your material then? And, like, do you do it for writing purposes?
It's funny. So for stand-up, I don't actually write.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
you just go up there with concepts and just sort of build it on stage?
Yeah, just kind of talk them through. So that's how I do stand-up. Yeah. But then, I mean, as I was saying before, I always write. So I've always been writing since I was a kid, basically. And I started off journalism heavy, so it started off with the rugby stuff, and then it turned into pop culture. So I ran like a magazine year 13, and then it turned into a marketing agency. Yeah. When I was about 2014, 2015. And so it started off in journalism, but then that turned into like an actual business, and then just with writing into comedy, just been writing kind of TV shows and movies. And
so how do you get your stuff out there? Like how do you get discovered in New Zealand? Is kind of what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like I saw you posted "This Is Auckland," the snippet on.
See, but I like that stuff. See, like I like that you did it that way. Yeah. And not because I was a bouncer, and that kind of stuff's funny to me. But even when you told that dude, there's just like, what do you say? When he walks away and you go, puberty is hard. Yes, like, good luck with puberty also.
Yeah. Well, because "This Is Auckland" was just like one of the things that I kind of wrote, and I thought, you know what, I might as well, I'll just make this and just see what happens. Like, I didn't make it with any particular purpose. But basically how "This Is Auckland" came around was, so I was working at Jono and Ben. Yeah. And I was writing for them. So I wrote for them for about 3 months and was just in the pre-production phase. Yeah. And so we were actually developing a segment. So I was supposed to have a segment on the show. Yeah. For a whole bunch of reasons, like it didn't work out. But it was a really awesome experience. And Iwan, so who's this character that I wrote, who's a bouncer on K Road, he was kind of one of the ideas that I sort of floated by them. Yeah. But I didn't really give it to them in a way that I think they could have understood it, so they weren't really keen on it, and so I kind of took it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why didn't they get that part?
Because if you watch, so anyone listening, just go watch "This Is Auckland" and even just watch the first 5 minutes. This bouncer, and a lot of the comedy is you kind of have to think about it for a second.
No, because it's supposed to be funny later.
Yeah. So
good luck with puberty. Also, that's not. You listen to it, you go, oh, that's not. And you kind of think about it, and it's funny.
Yeah. So a lot of it is stuff. It's not going to make you laugh until you think about it 5 minutes later. Yeah. And because that's the kind of comedy that I write. Yeah. Particularly, so
it's kind of like The Office, because I'm a big fan of The Office. Yeah. The Office has kind of got jokes like that too.
I'm the exact same. I never laugh at anything that I can see as trying to be funny. So which is why the UK Office, to me, at least to me, is funnier than the US Office. But I was kind of writing comedy like that for them, and for a TV audience, it doesn't really work. At least in New Zealand, because it's such a small market. They need to make sure that they cover everyone.
But do you see it as a market though? See, because I look at it as the internet. So I don't I wouldn't care how much people see me here. It's about who's seeing you where they like you.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But it was just because in that particular moment I was writing for TV. So you have to write for TV, and writing for TV is a very different thing. Yeah. And so it just wasn't the right comedy for TV, I think they thought.
Would you still take that character on? Because I personally think you should carry on that character and just build him a story.
Yeah, it's hard because I as I said, I don't particularly a lot of people are saying, oh, you should just kind of keep the Facebook page going and just do him as a character, and I was I didn't really want to be you know, it's not particularly what I'm into. Like,
Yeah.
it could lead to a lot of great opportunities, and you know, I'm always a big picture thinker. Like, I know it could build quite a good fan base.
Yeah.
Like, the videos did really well, and you know, I know people would love it, but I suppose, in my head at least, all I was really doing was just I wanted to write out this whole series, make it, and then that's kind of.
So what are you looking forward to doing, or like what's your main goal in sort of accomplishing with your writing and
like in general, or
in general, yeah.
So, I mean, at the moment, kind of working on a startup that's in sort of the media entertainment. So I've always known I wanted to be in entertainment, but more so the development side. I don't think
You don't want to be on screen, or don't want to be.
I thought for a second I did, but I don't think I do. Like, I would love to do what Taika does, and how, you know, any project that he's a part of, he might just put himself in.
Yeah.
But
as like a little cameo.
Yeah. I would love to do that, but you know, I really want to, like, the creative process is.
You like the process. See, I like the process.
Yeah.
Like, I like watching how a joke is made and how a joke is built.
Yeah.
And so, like, I like that side of it. Like, I don't like I'm not necessarily interested in the finished project. I'm interested in how they got to that point.
Yeah.
That's why I like watching comedians work out material and then making it better and better. Like, if you're looking to listen to Bert Kreischer, his joke about the machine isn't quite good when you first hear it until he's really built it through, and that's when he did his special kind of thing.
Hard out. And that's always been my thing. Like, in high school, like, I wasn't actually I was actually a pretty average rugby player, bro. Like, I'll honestly say I was pretty bad, but the reason, like, why I got game time was because, like, I trained real hard. Yeah. And that was always been my thing. I enjoyed
Well, you
training.
had Marlo and Thomas as well.
Yeah, well, that too, but but no, I'm just saying that's why I got game time.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't because I was particularly good. It was because I trained, and it's because I enjoyed training more than I enjoyed actually playing the game.
Yeah.
So, like, I've always enjoyed the process over the, you know, kind of what everyone gets to see.
What are we missing from New Zealand comedy that we should be getting, I guess?
I think, and it's New Zealand, and I keep bringing it back to New Zealand wide because because I've worked in so many industries already, I've kind of seen it's like a New Zealand wide thing, and it was exactly what we were talking about before, is that there's just not a lot of, like, authenticity, but it's because the industries here don't allow for it. So, you know, TV, you know,
TV and radio has always done the same.
And, like, it shows in sport, bro. Like, there's a reason people don't turn up to games.
Yeah.
It's because people don't care about the players. But it's because people aren't given the opportunity to care.
Yeah.
But it's because no media outlet is presenting players in a way that the audience is supposed to care about. And like, basically what I mean is that, you know what's happening in LeBron's life. You'll react to what's happening, and so you'll turn up you'll watch a game the next night because, you know, someone may have, like...
Well, look at Russell Westbrook's thing, right?
Exactly.
So Russell Westbrook had to go at some Utah fans, which is Utah's my team.
Yeah.
But people think that, and I think New Zealand think the same thing, where they've got the old mentality of, oh, that's bad publicity. But no one cares. Like, everyone's going to be angry at him today but happy with him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because he'll get a triple-double, and then all of a sudden it's all good.
Exactly.
And I think the same here is that, like, people, I think the higher-up people think that if they were to display something like what you have going, or Top 200 has going, is way different from everything else, that it won't work because they feel like no one else is doing it.
And because it has to be perfect and polished before, but it's like the authenticity is the fact that it's not perfect.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, on any level we don't show. And that's why
we don't have podcasts in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Because people think podcasts is a polished thing. It's not supposed to be polished.
Nah, not at all.
It's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be just an open conversation with context that it should be listened to.
Yeah. And that's why I go back to, it's a New Zealand wide thing, that there's no authenticity in anything, and it's because people aren't allowed to be authentic.
Yeah.
And it's one thing that I try and talk to, like, a lot of the boys about, and one guy who's doing it really well, bro, that everyone here is probably a rugby fan, is Duplessis Kirifi from the Canes. So he's got this Instagram account called The First Set, and basically he takes pictures. But he started like doing a kind of Humans of New York thing.
Yeah.
Where he's just talking to people about like the problems like they're going through in their life, and like it's a lot about mental health and all that kind of stuff. And it's stuff like that, like actual authenticity, you know, not someone going up and being like, yeah, speak up to your mates for like 5 seconds on like an ad.
But that's funny because Duplessis is a good kid. Like I knew him when he was at Francis Douglas, and even then he was a good kid. He's such a nice guy.
And like you talk to him, bro, for 5 seconds, and he's easily like one of the smartest, like most switched on people, let alone like.
Because he's South African Samoan, I think.
Oh yeah.
Because he's Samoan as well.
Yeah, I know he's Samoan, and.
So I think he might be. I think he's South African Samoan.
Probably makes sense, yeah. But he's one of those. He's one of those dudes that, as rugby, you know, rugby should just take those kinds of guys, and push them out there because, you know, I love me some Bowden Barrett. I love me some Bowden Barrett. I love Bodie, but it's like, you know. Any conversation with him is, we kick the ball around on the field.
I already know what he's going to say.
Exactly. And it's one of those things where it's like, you know, we all love Bodie for the rugby player, but that's all we know him for.
That's why I never care about interviews when they come off the field or when they're, you know, at the end of the game. I never care about it. It's like, because I know what they're going to say.
It's the same shit.
That's why everyone makes jokes about it.
Exactly.
And it filters down to kids that play under 14s where you go, captain stands up, he's just like, oh yeah, great game on the field today. And he just basically said what Super Rugby players.
Thanks to the ladies in the kitchen.
It's there every time. It's there every time, bro. And it's like, it's kind of a recurring joke in the rugby community, but like for everyone else that aren't rugby players, they're all kind of looking at like, what is wrong with it?
Because I want someone to be like Charles Barkley and just say whatever they want to say.
Hard out. And that's what the rugby community's biggest issue is we never ever look beyond rugby. Yeah. We don't look at how people that aren't rugby fans look at it. We just look at it as, these people are rugby fans. They don't need this explained, or these people are rugby fans. They'll already be interested, and that's why rugby is dropping in numbers, bro. Is because if you're not into rugby, like it's not a very inviting sport, and that's what I found. As a player was
like there's no space for anything else to be be discussed, kind of thing. What is something that you want to change about? Sort of the industry within New Zealand. The TV industry or the entertainment industry. Like, what do you think needs to change?
It's
like specific.
Like specifically, bro. There needs to be a big change in like the kind of people that get to make creative decisions and stuff. And I mean, I'm not talking particularly in my case. Like I dealt with a lot of the people I dealt with were amazing people, but like on a level beyond them, even, you know, a lot of the guys are operating as if the industry is how it was sort of 20, 30 years ago. Yeah. And you know, MediaWorks losing money, Sky losing subscribers. Like it's clear as day that people have no idea like how the world works now, because you know and that's the biggest thing that needs to change. And like. A good example that I always bring up is, you know, Netflix has been they were founded in 1997. Yeah. But they treat themselves like a startup. Yeah. Their marketing team are made up of people in their 20s. Yeah. Yeah. And it's because they know the type of people that they're marketing to, and so they treat it like that. Like they market through memes, bro.
Yeah.
Netflix.
Their Twitter account, like Facebook account, is outstanding.
It's good, eh?
And they like swear and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
so good.
It's so good.
But that's when you know something is good, where you can look through their Instagram page and be...
It's authentic.
And be stuck on the Instagram page rather than actually watching the channel.
It's authentic. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing that needs to change here, is that they just need to... They really... You know, they complain about not being able to speak to our generation. And it's like, well, no one in our generation can get a job there, because it's like they say you need 10 years experience, and it's like, fuck, I was 12 years old 10 years ago.
Because you know that's the same problem with rugby, in terms that people get pissed off at me for that same reason, that they're like going, no, you have to go do your time. I was like, well, tell Rico he has to do his time.
Yeah, harder.
Tell Etienne he has to do his time. These guys are all 19-year-olds. Tell Dalton he can't make the All Blacks until he's 25.
Exactly.
But that's not the point. It's like, because if something is good, it's good. Yeah. Regardless of what you think about it. If you look at like the numbers and stuff, you look at the numbers on YouTube, it's good. If you look on Spotify, it's good. If you look on SoundCloud, it's good. People want that. But New Zealand are looking at it in a different way. It's like, oh, I don't know if this old fella who's like 60-something will approve of this. It's like, how about I don't care, because that's 2 million hits. But they don't care about that stuff. Like, they don't want a young guy saying, well, that's not how everyone's watching now.
Yeah.
Like, no one cares about TV. Because people can spend hours on YouTube, like myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I can search up what I want.
Exactly.
Netflix, you search up what you want.
Exactly.
I think New Zealand has to do it the same.
Yeah, and that's and it's over all industries, bro. And
Yeah.
like, New Zealand is so small. It's across a whole range of things. And like, the thing with, you know, it's funny that you say like a Rico and Etienne. The reason why they get a shot is because, and so they should, like, Rico's the best winger in the world. But the reason why they get a shot is because to the guys making the calls, the benefit is right there. Like, you see it. He's 6'3", fucking runs 100 meters in 10 seconds. But with the internet, they can't see the benefit because they don't know enough about it to even know. Like,
and that's them not even educating themselves.
Exactly.
Like, wanting to be educated about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
What would be your next project, like, that you would want to do?
So just building up this company, but I mean on like a creative level, I've written a whole bunch of stuff. So trying to get like a short film I wrote developed, not particularly for anything in general, just because I would like to. But I just like just creating.
Do you see yourself making it here, or do you think I want to make it in like Melbourne or Sydney or London or something like that?
No, so I mean, for this particular project I'm thinking of, it's definitely here because it's about it's around sort of, because I'm half Māori. Yeah. So it's a lot around Māori and Māori traditions and stuff. So it's kind of like in that space. So it'd be made here. But I mean, anything else? Yeah, like I've always just loved creating stuff. So I mean, a lot of people kind of hit me up about helping them write stuff or helping them kind of market. I've always had like quite a knack for marketing.
What do you like to write about? Like, what's your favorite thing to write about and to create and, you know, sort of just brainstorm on your own?
Probably, that's a good question. Like, I mean, I do a whole bunch of random stuff, really. Yeah. So, I mean, plenty comedy. Like a lot about mental. Like, I'm really passionate about kind of mental health. So a lot of stuff around kind of that area. But I still, I still definitely love journalism. I don't particularly write anything journalistic, but I definitely still think in that kind of brain and like what's wrong with things and But I mean, a lot of my interest in rugby coming back is like looking at a lot of the problems that I think the sport as a whole has, and just kind of those kinds of things, really.
Because I was thinking about it the other day, and I was thinking about you as well in terms of, because I didn't know if there was like a New Zealand circuit in terms of comedy. Yeah. But I was thinking, if you did something like that and you did it in terms of a high school way and made content YouTube wise and then presented it to and go into school and sort of did like a stand up at a school and kind of got followers that way. You could do a massive tour in terms of New Zealand and to kind of do it like how Mike King did it in terms of delivering his message. But if you did it in a comedy way and then put up content on YouTube, like, I'm not saying you be the character when you go to the school, but saying...
No, it's funny that you bring that up because I'm literally doing that next week,
Because I see you could do it. And, like, it's funny, too, because, like, have you heard that thing about Nestle? Like, I heard Andrew Schultz say it where he said some guy went to Japan, he goes, I want to introduce these guys to coffee. And the guy from Japan goes, you can't do that. You have to be, like, 15 years, then you can do it. Yeah. And they go, what do you mean? And they said, well, for you to get into Japan, because they would just see... coffee is like dirty tea. Yeah. And they said to get into Japan, you have to make a cartoon, you have to make it relatable, you have to put something out that's coffee based, and then make those into lollies that these young kids will have it. And then when they get to an age, then they're familiar with that taste and smell, and now coffee is there. And Nestle was the one that did it. Yeah, right. And so, like, to me, it's just like, well, if you went and did a comedic thing in schools, by that 13-year-old getting to all the way through, especially with your content and stuff, by the time they're 19 to 21, whatever you write, regardless of what it is, your name is attached and they remember that. Yeah. Because I'll be following you through, because, like, remember, 4 years of high school, that's a 4-year career of you doing something to whatever big you come up with.
Yeah. That's funny that you brought that, because that's literally what I'm kind of starting. So doing it. Yeah. So starting it next week. Scots is the. Obviously the first. Yeah, starting off at Scots, and then just gonna try and, because I think my biggest thing with comedy that I learned is that I learned quite early that, you know, this is gonna sound quite arrogant, but like it was quite easy to make people laugh like at jokes, but I know I wanted to actually like talk about stuff, but still be funny, like in and I think like you can't really do that in a comedy club. But you can do that in a school. You can do that. You know, Mike has shown that, you know, people of all ages are really, really open to hearing that kind of stuff. And like I know I'm not the only person that would really love to speak, especially about my experiences. Like I had a lot of experience that I know a lot of boys in high school are kind of going through. And talking about it in a way that's relatable and, like, you know, joking around and talking about stuff that they wouldn't hear from a teacher per se.
Because you're the one that doesn't have the strains on you. Yeah. Because you can go there and say whatever you want, regardless of how angry they get at you when you walk off. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's already been said.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah. And I'm lucky that Scott's has given me the chance to do it, and because I'm still quite close with like a lot of the teachers there, and they kind of know what to expect from me, and they're
but that's the other thing as well, is that they already know you. So they already know you. Are you going to be filming this thing?
No, I don't think. Oh, maybe. I mean, like, I wasn't planning on it. The school might be. Yeah.
Because I always wonder, like, with your sets and stuff that you do, why wouldn't you just put it out joke by joke, like 2-3 minute segments at a time or something like that? And like, because even if you put out like a minute or something, or just you know, something that shows what you did, I'm sure other schools will, like, other kids will see it, and then it'll just spread, and then other schools will do it. Yeah. I mean,
well, it's I guess it's like, I mean, obviously you're referring to Andrew again, who I thought has done a great job of what he's done, but it's that thing. I don't necessarily want to be known as a comedian, like, and so, you know, for Andrew Schultz's thing, he is a comedian, and so he's marketing, whereas I want my platform and what I speak about to be just from me, not necessarily me as a comedian. And so I'm trying to build it up more so as myself, not really just a guy that goes out and like tells jokes and stuff. Which is why I'm trying to make sure from early in my career that I do a whole bunch of different things. I'm not just doing stand-up.
Because I watch like Dave Chappelle and like Bill Burr and stuff like that, and Chris Rock, and I usually see it as it's funny, but it's a lot of like hidden human reactions and counter reactions to what they're saying, and so like that's what I kind of look at it as. Like, even though people say it's funny, it's like, it's
100% authenticity though.
It's like, listen to what they're actually saying though.
And that's what I think like a lot of New Zealand comedy is missing, and that's why like because I used to be open micing every night, just trying out jokes and stuff, and I don't particularly do it now. It's because when I speak, I want people to know kind of what position I'm coming from, because especially as like a young Islander dude, you know, I walk on stage and people kind of assume that it's going to be like brown people do this, white people do that. But like I grew up like, you know, I fucking grew up in Malaysia. Like, I never ever was like a brown dude, and the people that knows me, I was never that dude in their eyes, and so I really am trying to kind of figure out how to get that across, because it's so easy for people just to put us, like John and Ben try to get me to do like a sports segment
when you're not like a,
and I mean I love sports, but you know, I mean,
it's not my favorite thing to talk about, kind of thing. Like, there's a better message in there.
Exactly. And it's like but I mean, you know, it's definitely not it's tough, because I mean, any other comedian dude, you know, that didn't particularly look like me, I don't think they're trying to force a sports kind of angle.
Angles.
So that's been kind of the frustrating thing for me, is that getting pigeonholed, even though like I've used every instance that I could to show that like not all of us
think that way,
same, or think the same. And I don't put it on. I don't put it on racism or anything like that. Like, not at all. But I think it's just a sort of just getting people to think that people are different. Like,
I mean, like that racism thing is kind of subtle because, like, even with what I do, like, people don't expect, because my name is Herschel Fruin, if you don't really listen to what my names are, you think that I'm a white guy.
Yeah,
and a lot of guys, when I go to schools and other kids point out and they go, oh, that's top 200, and they go, that guy.
Yeah,
and I know already that,
yeah.
or when they see me, it's like, oh, is that what he looks like?
Yeah,
with those kind of subtle.
But
and it's not the racism, but it's the stereotype that they're thinking. Because they expect it to be a white guy because my name is Herschel Fruin.
Yeah.
You know, they think, oh, it must be a white guy because someones don't usually do this. They're usually the ones on the field you talk about, not the one that's talking about somebody.
And that's why when I did College First 15, I didn't reveal my identity because I knew if people found out it was a 15-year-old Islander,
they wouldn't listen.
You know, one, because like I knew the young thing would have been big. But I knew they wouldn't listen, and so I made it like I tried my hardest to make it seem as if it was like an organization kind of thing.
Yeah.
And people like took it really serious, as they should. Like I was putting a lot of time into it, and like a lot of people.
And it's a lot of time,
It's
mate.
a lot of work, bro.
People don't realize how much it is.
It is a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, that was, and it got to the point where like the guy that runs like the Sky Sport. I remember when Sky Sport used to have like
Adam?
their thing. Yeah. He would like kind of make jokes on on Sky Sport page about like me copying him and stuff, and it's like, bro, I have more followers than you.
Well, see, because that's why I made it a ranking, right?
Yeah.
Because even when I talked to Adam Julian, bro, you're pretty cool. It's all right.
Yeah. No,
settle down. But Adam did it that same way where like I made mine a ranking system which was different from his.
Yeah.
And Adam's like a historical guy. Like you ask him anything historical,
he knows shit,
and he'll be like, bro, he'll just rattle it off because that's his mind.
And he knows, bro, and he knows everyone too.
Yeah,
he knows everyone.
But then like for me, I was just like, but I'm looking at talent.
Yeah.
And I'm putting myself out there saying, no, I think this kid is better than this other kid. And that's the big difference, and that's what people are scared of, that my opinion is out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have opinions that they're like, oh, but just don't tell anyone. I was like, bro, it's all right if you think someone's better than somebody else. It's okay. And it's up to the kid to say, no, Herschel, you're wrong because I'm better than him. You watch this.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, cool. That's what you want. You want to be competitive.
And people, and it's funny because like I've seen a lot of the criticism you get, and like I definitely saw it on mine as well. And it's kind of that thing where it's you can't be shining these guys in a negative light, but it's like, well, they're getting the exact, it's just as bad that they get constantly shown in a positive light. Because they think they're untouchable, and it's not necessarily you're doing it to knock them down a notch. It's just that these guys they're getting a perspective that also isn't true. Yeah. On the other side, and so you can't let them be privy to that, but then not the criticism side of things. Yeah. And that was why like a lot of guys have such bad attitudes when they do get out. Yeah. It's because they constantly get told that like, you're the next All Black, you're the next big thing. And then, I've seen it that, guys getting told that. And then as soon as they get an injury or as soon as they're off form for a year, they're cut. And it's that thing again where we put these guys on such a high pedestal that the only way off is knocking them off. And it's... Because
kids don't know that it's only 3% that make it through.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think should be told to every kid and to every parent as well. It's 100%. Like, this is a 3% gap that you'll make it through to the pros.
Yeah, bro.
And then it's even smaller to be an All Black.
Hard out.
And so, like, every kid that has this dream, that's cool to have the dream.
But you gotta
just be real about your dream. You got to have
something else. Yeah. You got to have something else. And that's the thing is that...
All the time.
We were all getting told that we were going to be All Blacks. All of us.
Yeah.
And like, for me... It was easy to kind of channel out because I would like that. I never ever wanted to be anything more than just a first 15 player. Like I just did it because the girls fucking always showed up to the games. Yeah, that's why I did it.
That's why you're on the wing. You just have a conversation.
Straight up, bro. That was me.
It's like standing there waiting. It's like, hey,
that was me, bro. Like I was chilling in the games. Like
you want to go to the ball? Don't worry about your partner.
Bro, that was. Do
you see him on the field? No.
Straight up, yeah. You see my cap? Go grab it. Yeah, it was that kind of shit, bro. And like that was all I wanted it to be. But it's you can't do that to a dude who rugby in his eyes is all he has going for him, and then you tell him that he's got a legitimate chance and he doesn't. Like you can't you can't do that, and that's why, so many of these guys do struggle at the next level, because so many of them do struggle, and I'm not gonna like name anyone or anything, but a lot of these guys really, really struggle, especially like fringe Mitre 10 guys.
Well, look at all these kids that have gone through top 200 since 2013. How much of them are Super Rugby players and Mitre 10 Cup players, right? It pisses me off that they're not doing anything else but playing rugby.
Yeah, bro.
It annoys me so much
Yeah.
because I hate the stereotype and the stigma that Islanders can only do one thing, or that a rugby player can only do one thing.
Yeah.
Don't let them tell you that you're a rugby player.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm a mechanic and I'm a rugby player. I'm a lawyer and a rugby player.
Exactly.
I'm a builder and I'm a rugby player. I'm a biologist and a rugby player.
Yeah.
I'm not just one thing.
Yeah.
I can do other stuff as well.
Yeah.
And that's what annoys me about it as well, is that, and the Islanders fall into these these stereotypes because they don't have the conversations of you can do something else and do rugby at the same time.
Yeah, but you know what it is, bro, and I've spoken to heaps of the boys about it, is because, your self-esteem is then tied into it, and when you're 17, 18, and the only thing people are telling you that makes you feel good about yourself is that you're an amazing rugby player.
Yeah,
they're not telling you that you're great at maths. They're telling you, fuck you.
Well, you're a pretty good writer.
Yeah, but they're not telling you that stuff. Like, no one cares about that. When your self-esteem becomes a part of it, and that's all your confidence is based off, like, of course, that's all you're gonna worry about, is because you think that's the only thing you're good at.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem, bro. And it starts in high school.
Because all the kids that I talk to, I pushed with them a lot. I said, bro, make sure you find something to study.
Yeah.
Find something else that you're good at to balance out what this rugby life is going to be like. Because they have so much off time and they do nothing with it.
Yeah, bro.
But just play rugby and train. I was like, hey, get some intellect on the at the end of that. And do what Victor Vito and that did, and Conrad Smith, and they became lawyers and stuff. I was like, you have enough time over your span of your career.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing, is Conrad's shown you can do it.
Yeah.
So there's really like no excuse, but it's because it isn't reinforced on them. Like, and it's because the benefit for everyone else only it stops on the rugby field. Like, the benefit of these guys going out and doing other shit, that doesn't benefit the coach or the manager. Like, they don't give a shit. Well, and they don't have to.
Well, that's like this place here. Like, for those that don't know, we're here at We Are Tenzing, and We Are Tenzing, and the reason why I like them is that they're athletes, they have their sports side, and then they have something else that they care about.
Yeah, but that's
what I like about it.
All of them are really,
and they're always involved in something else. Like Vince Ussel and Patrick Tuipulotu, they're always involved in something else.
Ruby's hero.
Yeah, Ruby's here as well.
She's a big one that I look at. I'm like,
see, that's who I want on this podcast as well. Is I want to talk to her and just search out her feelings and thoughts and stuff like that. She's pretty open.
Yeah, and she does so much, and she's one that I kind of look at like, okay, not all of us have the personality or the charisma to be that, but you can do other things, and that's where rugby's, as it all comes back, rugby's biggest problem is we don't look beyond rugby. We don't look beyond, that 80 minutes, and that's why the numbers are dropping. That's why kids don't want to play.
And CTE.
And CTE too. Right, because we all watched Concussion with Will Smith, and he pulled off that African accent.
And he put that thing in a jar and he shook it around and he that's your brain. I was like, oh.
Yeah, bro.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I got my first concussion. I was like, nah, as soon as this shit's over, I'm done.
I remember because I played a game when I was 15, and the first 15, I played a game and I had that 15-year-old confidence. So I was like, stuff this, tap it, give me the ball.
Yeah.
I ran it straight and we were playing mags.
I was never that kid.
I was that kid, bro, because I was big when I was like young.
Yeah.
And I just ran it straight at the two biggest guys because that's what we do. And then the last thing I remember was sitting in the after function.
Yeah.
And then I remember like eating this apple and then taking it away from my mouth and going, oh, shoot. I was like, oh, did we win?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we just won. I was like, oh.
Shit.
And then I had to watch the game.
Yeah.
And then only bits and pieces of the game came back.
Yeah.
And I got smashed when I ran the ball up. I got smoked.
But you don't remember, yeah.
Like, and then I just remember biting this apple and then seeing the apple come away from my face, and that's why I was like, oh shoot. And I was like, bro, did we win, bro? He's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, we did? I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I think I got I think I got a concussion in year 13, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm quitting rugby after this year," because I was like, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but no, I think I'm very critical of rugby, unfortunately. But it's because I love it. Like I've always loved watching it. Like it's you've probably been there, like a good high school game. Like where all the backs are firing, like there's nothing more entertaining than watching.
One thing that annoys me is that I haven't filmed all the games that I've been to over the years.
Yeah.
And that's like, I want to get Brad into it too to come and film, because like, not just the content side of it, but it's like one of those stories you're like, bro, you should have seen this try, and I can't.
It's so amazing. Like
I can't put the right words together to say how amazing this was.
Good rugby is so amazing to watch,
especially high school kids, because you don't expect anything.
High school is a good high school game is unreal. You get like the fan, like all the schools together. It's crazy, bro.
But people need to bloody turn up to games and support. Man, bloody turn up to games, man. Gosh,
bro,
support these kids.
But that's the thing. There's no benefit to them turning up. Like there's like rugby gives no reason for people to turn up. Yeah. You go to like a Mitre 10 game, bro. Everyone there, like, they somehow know a player. Like that's why everyone's there. You walk up to anyone, they're like, "Oh, why are you guys here?" "Oh yeah, it's my cousin's girlfriend's brother.
He's playing his 50th."
That's literally it. Like people don't have any. They're not being given any reason to.
One thing I like, who was it, the team that just did it? The Crusaders. They let the kids run back on the field. They need to bring that where you can run back on the field.
They need to do stuff.
Because I remember doing that when I was young, and I remember I was watching the game with my missus, and I was going, "Oh shoot, they're letting them run on the field." And I was like, they need to bring that back.
You know what they need to do, bro? They need to. Again, it needs to be beyond rugby. Like if they want, depending on who they're marketing to, say they want like students to come back. The Highlanders, they have the zoo.
Yeah.
One way they could do it even better is if they had like a spot where all the students, and it goes against like all the thing with pre-drinking and stuff that they try and cut down. But it's like they're gonna do it anyway, so you might as well just set up a place where they can.
What do we need to do in Waikato, yo? Because we need to do something like that, eh? Because our games are empty.
No one goes to Waikato games. I don't know what they can do.
But it's that they don't like set it, because like football has tailgating.
Yeah.
They need something like that.
It's all about the
and
experience.
Bro.
Just the game.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is that rugby needs an experience, but the experience these days is that 80 minutes. And if you don't give a shit about that 80 minutes, why the hell would you turn up?
Maybe they need a barbecue thing at like Waikato, eh? They should just have like a barbecue thing.
I know I was trying to turn up to a barbecue. You can get one. I'll walk down to Bunnings. I don't need to buy a hammer. Walk down to Bunnings, get a sausage. I'm good.
What if you did barbecue for free?
Right, no one's going to turn up to a game for a free barbecue. Or maybe me, but I'm not going in.
It's got to be something.
It needs to be something that people will turn up for. Like, people will go out of their way to turn up for this.
Do those American ones.
Part of the problem, though, is you've got these 25,000 seat stadiums, and you're an eighth filling it, so it kind of feels dead being there.
There's no atmosphere. There's no atmosphere.
That's where the production side comes into it. He's like, stop filming that side.
There's like no one there.
There's a reason they don't do spider cam in rugby.
It's like, camera 5, stop filming that.
You're never going to see a spider.
Like, Greg, we need you to turn. Turn, Greg. Stop putting out those seats.
Yeah, bro. But there's just no experience in it, and it's like, unless you're really, really into rugby, there's no reason. Like they need to have like concerts like before the game, bro, or like after the game. Just like something that other people that aren't particularly interested in the rugby would turn up to, but then in that experience as well, they also see the rugby.
Or to get those people on the verge of should I come, should I not?
Give
them another reason to show up.
Yeah, hard out. Oh shit, fucking Lord's playing at half time. Yeah, yo, let's turn up to that. Like that.
And plus, that bloody food needs to come down too. If I hate paying for those food that's in there.
I remember back in the day how expensive it was just to buy water.
It's stupid,
for like a Powerade.
It's stupid. And that's the thing, it's like...
We was getting fish and chips before. He goes like, man, I'm going to eat up now, because when you get in there, I'm not buying anything.
Bro, it's like the stadiums are like, well, we need to pay to be open, but it's like, well, no one's turning up. You're going to lose money anyway. Just cut down on the prices.
Yeah. That's why I reckon tickets should be just $5. Fill the stadium so it looks good.
It should be less than that. It needs to be that thing like, food's actually cheaper at the Blues game. Let's go watch.
Yeah.
No, $2 hot dog. I'll go to a game and watch that. Bro. And honestly, needs to be stuff like that are gonna draw people.
I'm sure
to
the more you buy will cover the cost of whatever you're paying for to be in the rental place in the park or Waikato Stadium or whatever.
Or just even more variety in the food. Because so many times that you just don't feel like getting a hot dog or chips.
Yeah, bro.
Like you can only eat that so many times.
Like a night market,
straight up.
If they did a night market in front of the stadium,
seriously,
like all the food stalls.
And then
like stuff like that.
And then have if you go through that way and just grab your receipt and go, if you pay for your receipt, it's 50% off.
It needs to be stuff like that, like create an experience.
At the States, they have like McDonald's and like fast food places in the stadiums, rather than just.
That's why everyone gets pissed off at Chick-fil-A being in like the Atlanta, in the Atlanta stadium, because it's like all the games are Sunday.
But that's the thing.
Chick-fil-A's closed on a Sunday.
But that's the thing. Like, look at how many people turn up to night markets, bro. And it's like, it's a $20 entry to this night market, but you also get to watch a rugby game.
Yeah.
Like, so many people would do that, and it's $20 that pays.
And letting you take your food in as well.
But it's that thing where they're not looking at the benefit beyond what they can see. You know, they may not see any financial benefit from actually doing that. Which is why they're not going to do it.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. It's cool having you in here, bro.
Sorry, bro.
We might do this again, eh?
I've harped on a bit long, my bad.
No. I like doing these like little conversations. We'll probably do it again. Check back on what you're doing and, have other guys in here as well. Any last thoughts? Anything you want to put out there and promote? And
no, just follow Dupes'
where can we find you? What are your...
so me, I don't really post anything on Instagram, but follow Dupes' thing. Duplessis, at the first set, I think it is, on Instagram. He's doing some really, and he starts for the Hurricanes. And he's an Islander. He's doing awesome stuff. Go and follow that. Other than that, that's really it.
Yeah, I hate that he left the Chiefs. Kind of bugs me now.
Don't even mention the Chiefs.
Right? Yeah, it's annoying, eh?
You guys need him too. That full pack's looking...
And we're playing Hurricanes this week too, on Friday.
Oh, no.
That full pack's looking shaky.
Oh, man. Even Sevu. I like Solly too, but he made Solly look a bit silly when Sevu smoked him.
Yeah, he smoked him.
Another Chiefs guy gone. I was like, Yeah. Anyways, that's our podcast. Thanks for joining in.
Thanks for having me, bro. Cheers, Brad.
High School Top 200 podcast. Peace.